In this video, I'm going to be doing a drop and go recipe for curried sausages, an Australian favourite. Now, I'm actually also going to be showing you a few other things you can do if you do have a little bit of time on your hands. So do stick around and I hope you enjoy it. G'day everybody and welcome to my Aussie gardening kitchen. If it's your first time here, my name's Darren, but please call me Daz. Now, I'm actually a retired chef. I don't work as a chef anymore, but I've still retained a bit of that stuff up here in the memory. And on my channel, I do a lot of cooking, but I also take you out into the garden where I like to grow my own produce and obviously bring that inside and cook it and preserve it. So if that's something you think you'd like to see more often, please subscribe to my channel and yeah, continue the journey with me. Thanks. Now I've just put a little bit of olive oil in here just to make sure that any ingredients that I drop in don't stick to the bottom of the pot. They shouldn't, but I like to do it just in case. Now these are just a common sausage here in Australia. I believe these ones are a beef sausage. We call them snags, S-N-A-G-S, snag. And these are a very common sausage in Australia. We sometimes have them at breakfast and we put them on barbecues a lot outside on the grill. Now I had to check with my friend Leanne at the Mennonite farmhouse and she confirmed for me that these are pretty much called link sausages in the United States. Now they're a pretty plain sausage, that's what you want because you don't want anything like a bratwurst or anything like that, or even a chorizo for instance, having too much of a strong flavour. Just go for a simple sausage, either beef or pork like this, or vegetarian if you wish. Just dropping in those onions. You can see what a great job that chopper does with the onions. It's fantastic and it's really good when trying to hide onions from kids. I'm going to add some garlic, turmeric. Now the turmeric will give the tiniest amount of flavour, but what I'm after here with turmeric is the colour. It's going to give this a nice yellow colour. Bit of black pepper. You can add it to taste. Curry powder. Again, you can add it to taste. This is a mild curry powder. I'm putting in 3 heaped teaspoons for my amount. Now the purpose of the curry powder is to give flavour, not to burn your mouth. This isn't like a traditional, say, Indian beef curry where it's red hot and you need to go for a glass of milk or something like that. This is basically like a sausage and potato and carrot casserole that's got a mild curry flavour to it, and it's not going to have you running to the fridge to grab any cold drink that you can find. This is the honey, excuse the fingers, that I did just wash, thank you Mum. And what the honey does is it just brings a really nice sweet flavour, and you'll be surprised at just how much that combination of the sweetness of the honey and the spiciness of the curry powder blend well together. Now, if you do have a little bit of time to do a little bit more prep with this dish, I do recommend that you take the sausages and put them into a frying pan and just brown them off on all the sides. Now, don't worry about cooking them because they're definitely going to cook in a slow cooker. Now, what you want to do is brown them off, take them out, and then very carefully cut them into diagonals. I think maybe roughly 4 or 5 per sausage. And then what happens is, when you pop that back into your dish and get it all cooking, they're going to hold their shape, and at the end, when you're presenting your meal, you're going to have nice diagonal cuts on the end of the sausage pieces, and they look quite nice that way. If you do have that time, I do recommend that you saute the onions, just get them in there to draw out a bit of flavour, and also the curry powder, get that in a little bit of oil with the onions, for instance, once the onions have started to colour, and just draw out the flavours from that curry powder. And then what you can do is pour all that into your crock pot or your slow cooker, and then just deglaze the pan by putting a little bit of water in there and lifting all those flavours off the surface of the pan and pouring them into the crock pot. So you're not losing any flavour at all, and you're actually gaining extra flavour by doing exactly that process that I've just explained. Now for the moment, I'm just going to give that a stir and have a look at it. Just trying to make sure that I've got all my ingredients in there, and I'm just going to give these a bit of a mix around. That's fine. Now it's time for the carrots, and with the carrots I like to cut them on a bit of an angle just to give them a bit of a better look for presentation when you pop them on a plate. Now if you really are in a rush and you want to get things done quickly, a couple of nights before when you're preparing carrots for another meal, cut up your carrots, get them sliced, and pop them into a sandwich bag. And yeah, you'll have them ready for you, so you can just take them out and pop them straight into this when you're ready to go on the day. We'll drop the potatoes in there. Now the potatoes I've cut quite large, and that's because we don't want them to turn into mush during the day. And also I've left the skins on them. We like our potatoes with the skins on them, but by all means, if you want to peel them, peel your potatoes, and these will actually absorb the colour of the turmeric and they'll go a nice yellow colour. So if you were to peel the entire potato, you're going to have the whole potato look yellow, but most certainly you'll have this side here looking quite yellow in the end dish. And to save yourself a little time, get yourself hot water and put hot chicken stock into there. What's going to happen is you're not going to set it back to 0, you could say, in temperature by putting cold water and cooling it down. So the hotter the water, the better, either the hottest from the tap, or if you'd like to, boil a kettle if you've got a kettle and use boiling hot water, but just be careful when handling hot water, please. Now that was 6 cups of chicken stock, and that's very nicely covered everything for me. What I like to do is just to carefully move the sausages around, just so there's a bit of space between the sausages and the liquid and the other ingredients, but being careful not to break the sausages. We don't want them broken, and that's why I haven't cut them, because I don't want them to start exploding as they start cooking in the water and looking like a mess. Okay, peas. I always add peas to my curried sausages, but you don't want to add the peas now. It's way too early. They'll go brown and overcook and they'll be terrible. So 15 minutes before you're about to serve this, pop your peas in. I use frozen peas that are defrosted, and as I said, 15 minutes before cooking, I'll add these, and I'll add a little bit of gravy powder or cornstarch to thicken this, but I'll see how I go and see what it looks like at that time. So the lid is now on. I've turned it down to low, and that's it. I don't touch it at all until tonight. I'm very pleased to say that I'm actually doing this video as a part of a Crocktober collaboration organised by Jenny at Jenny's Scratch Made Kitchen. I'm super excited because not only am I making a recipe that I enjoy, but I'm in really good company with channels that I actually watch myself. And if you go to Jenny's channel and have a look at all the participants, if I've not listed them already in the description, you'll see there's some quite awesome channels in there, and yeah, I'm really happy to be a part of it. Now, something else that's awesome about Crocktober is you really need to comment on the videos as you watch them, because Jenny is going to pick one of the comments randomly with the random comment picker, and that lucky person is going to win themselves a prize on November 1st, and I believe at this stage it's going to be a Crockpot. So that's pretty cool. So again, I'd like to thank Jenny for having me in this collaboration with such great company and giving me an opportunity to share this recipe with you all. And yeah, to the people out there that do comment, good luck, and yeah, you never know, it could be you. Okay, it's been a full 6 hours since I've had this sitting here for the day, and I tell you what, I've been home all day and it smells absolutely fantastic. Now, to stay in line with the drop and go method, I've not touched this at all for the entire day. So you can just imagine someone's put this on before they've gone out to work or to a full day out away from home, and they've just dropped everything in there, dumped it in and gone, and not touched it. So this is how it looks after all this time. Now, if you are home during the day and you can attend to this, I do recommend that after a couple of hours, give it a gentle stir. And again, a few hours later, give it another gentle stir. And I mean gentle because you don't want to break up these potatoes and even the sausages. So this is the first stirring that it's actually getting for the entire day. And it smells and looks fantastic. As you can see, the sausages have held their shape. Now, this step here with the sausages is totally optional. This is a presentation thing, and it's an absolutely optional thing for you at home. Now, what I'm doing here is I've taken out the sausages very carefully because they are fragile, and I'm going to cut them on diagonals just for presentation when I serve this up. Oh, and they do go back into the mix once I've cut them. So while I've got those sausages out of here, which is an optional move, I'm just going to add my cornstarch. Now, it's actually easier doing this without the sausages in there, but it's totally optional. Now just be careful not to break up the potatoes when you go stirring in the cornstarch. If you'd like to, you could use a gravy powder, and for all the Aussies out there, something like a Gravox, for instance, would be fine, just to get it a little bit thicker. Now we're serving ours with rice, so rather than making this a one-pot dinner, well, it kind of is, but we're going to actually serve this on rice, so we don't want it too thick, because we like a bit of runny sauce over that rice. Okay, it's now a couple of minutes later, and that was simmering. So what I'm going to do now is add the peas for the final 5 to 10 minutes. These are frozen peas that I've had defrosting in the fridge. And you can see the colour that they have here. That's the colour we want to preserve. We don't want to be making them go brown and looking just very unpleasant by overcooking them. Lid on for the last 5 or 10 minutes. I say 5 to 10 minutes, but that depends on your cooker and how fast it is. With me, this will take me about probably 5 minutes till I'm ready to serve. It's been a couple of minutes and I'm going to add the sausages back now that I've cut them. And again, this is totally optional. I just like the presentation of the sausages when they're cut like this. One thing I absolutely love about sausages in a slow cooker is the consistency it changes them to. It's incredible. They're so soft and delicious, and it's a consistency you just cannot get by cooking them on the grill. Absolutely love sausages cooked like this, especially in a curried sausage mix. Okay, here we go. I've now turned it off. That is my curried sausages, which I now need to get served up. As you can see here, we serve ours on rice, white long grain rice. Oh, okay. Here we go. This is my slow cooker or crock pot curried sausages. This is a favourite in Australia. We love making this, and I've grown up on it, and there's slightly different versions, but this is a base recipe. As I said earlier, the honey is probably not in the base recipe, but I like it. It gives that slight sweetness, and as I said earlier, you're not trying to make a hot burning curry. You just want that curry powder in there to give flavour to the dish, and I think the combination of that and the honey together gives you a delicious savoury dish that you'll absolutely enjoy and go back for seconds and want to have for lunch the next day. As you can see, the potatoes take on some of the colour from that yellow curry powder and turmeric. The peas stay nice and bright green because they're put in at the end. The carrots still hold their shape. The potatoes hold their shape. The sausages, totally up to you, but I love to take them out and cut them for presentation and then drop them back in at the end like this. It's just an awesome dish that our whole family enjoys, and you can definitely have this as a one-pot meal, and you've got those nice chunky potatoes in there to really bulk it up a bit. But we like to serve ours on white rice, and that's what we've done here today. We do it every time. We always have curried sausages with rice. If you haven't already, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and ticking the notification bell. And there's a video appearing on the screen right now. Please check that out next. It does help my channel grow. In fact, if you were to share out this recipe and my channel to other people, I'd really appreciate that. Thanks so much for being here. I do appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Bye.